Okay, so this is the next video, right? I haven't even converted that last one. Anyway, you can see the difference in color, much more richer, right? So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to pour some of this in there, if not all of it, right? Because I got more apples coming next time. I'll just do a little bit of water, more apples, and then it will just get richer and richer. This here, I'm putting in there. So those two will go in there, so that will be full. So tomorrow or the next day, I can start making apple butter. I'm getting kind of tired. It's 8:30 at night. I'm worn out, people, but besides that point. So I have the 4 pounds in the other pot right now. And then I'm going to weigh out these. I suspect it's probably about another 4 pounds. The reason these ones look different is because they weren't quite ripe. Some of them came off the tree as I was out there trying to do whatever. And anyway, I boiled them a little bit in water to take out that white milky substance that comes from figs that could be kind of toxic, right? It comes from the stem when they're not, especially when they're not ripe, completely ripe. Like this one's okay. But anyway, that's what you do when they're not fully ripe. You just boil them for a few minutes, 2 times, change the water once, twice, right? And then just make jam. Hold on. Okay, people, so this is where I'm at. I measured out 9 pounds of figs, right? I'm having to run it through a blender quickly because I don't like the consistency of that, and I tried to take potato masher to it and it didn't work. But if I do it just for a couple of seconds in that, it works out really good in terms of consistency for a jam, right? So hold on a minute. Okay, so this is where we're at. I had to puree this, well, not puree it, but I put it through a blender. I think I already showed you that. And I'm going to boil some more jars because that's not going to be enough. So I'm going to take those ones out and I'm going to boil some. Well, this is going to cook because it's like going on quarter to midnight now. Right? Tomorrow I'll do the pickles. Alright, I'll do the cucumbers tomorrow. And, anyway, as you can see, it's a nice consistency. I've already put in 2 cups of coconut sugar, and I'm going to add 1 more. Okay? And then I put in 4 cups of white sugar, and there's 9 pounds of fig. I weighed it out. So, in a recipe that I've seen online, I mean, there's different recipes, they vary, right? But it's pretty much, oh my lord. It's pretty much cup per cup, 2 pounds of fig to 2 cups of sugar. So if there's 9 pounds, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, I narrowed it down to 7 cups of sugar. 3 of them are coconut sugar. And it tastes pretty good. And then at some point, I'm going to add some squeezed lemon juice. Okay? But before that happens, apparently this doesn't gel like other fruits, because even though it's sweet, it doesn't have the pectin in it. And I'm not going to use that. So what you do is you boil it down over a period of time to thicken it up versus heating it up real fast and giving it a good boil to thicken it up, right? It's just, this spits. I don't like this pan, this pot for this purpose. I mean, it's great for stirring, right? You can see that. This is bigger than my other one that I have that my son has kind of taken on me. But anyway, if I need it, I know where it is. I've got this pot, right? But if I keep it on 5 for now, and then I just go like this, right? Then if it's spitting up, it just goes up in there. And I'm going to cook it like this probably for the next hour or so. I stir it every 5 minutes or so, just to Maybe even turn up the heat just a bit, just so it can thicken up slowly. Hold on. Okay, so there. I'm done that. And then still have to finish up with the figs in terms of dehydrating and getting them ready for the freezer. But outside of canning them, the jam is not that bad. Toast and butter. Be very good. Okay, people, so it's August 4th, 2018. Tomorrow is Shemai's birthday, and I just want to say, people, I'm not really doing that great. I think about her every day, and the more time passes, the more I miss her. And that applies to everybody in the house. But, you know, tensions are high, right? Because we have a difference of... We have a difference of opinion than... I don't know what to call them, people. The family, they're a family. Look at this. I think this camera has had it. It's sitting on a speaker, so maybe through the plastic or something, it's picking up the magnetism on it, right? Maybe that's why it's kicking out more. So, anyway, I already forgot what I was talking about, people.
You're talking about Shemay.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about Shemay. You're not supposed to be listening.
I'm right here.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be amusing yourself with something over there, not paying attention to me.
Okay.
I'm canning pickles. Those cucumbers, some of them I have to make into cucumber relish, which I'm going to start making plans to do at some point in the next day. It takes a while to actually make cucumber relish. You have to let these things sit in water and soak them, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm actually kind of tired, people. I don't even know if I want to be doing anymore. I'm almost at the point where I just want to stop with everything. But that's not going to get me anywhere, right? That's what I tell myself. So anyway, I'm doing cucumbers. I'll show you after I do this little whatever I'm doing here. Outside to say that I'm not doing that great, people. No, it's missing Shemay very much. I think about her all the time, right? Angry, very angry. You know, there is no closure. Just like there was no closure with Uncle John, there's no closure with Shemay, right? It's worse than being in the balance, because people that are associated with our family, my family, Shemay's family, right, friends, they're being already harassed out in public because we have a difference of opinion that they don't want to talk about. They think just by the problem is going to go away. Right? The problem's not going to go away, people. Right? If anything, the problem is festering. You know, people shouldn't have to be worrying about going out in public and being attacked in the freaking bus stop. Not physically jump and attack, but somebody running up and start beaking off, you know, got the cell phone on them and, you know, want to fight, pushing for a fight. What's going to happen when I'm out there, people, with the baby in the stroller, with Andre? Am I going to get the same response? What's going to happen to Tisha when she's out walking about? Is she going to get the same response? because these people don't want to talk about a difference of opinion? Right? If we're wrong, prove us wrong in terms of what we think happened to Shimei before she got to the hospital, because we already know what happened to her in the hospital. We don't know to what extent it was, but we know something happened to her that shouldn't have happened. And we know what happened downstairs, 8:30 in the morning or so. We know. So if we know, that's our opinion. It's our facts. And if they can somehow prove that those facts are wrong, well, then they should be, I don't know, diplomatic about it and explain themselves how it's wrong. And then I'll make a public apology, people. Other than that, we're sitting ducks. Right? The provincial government of British Columbia, Canada, has left us as sitting ducks as they allow fentanyl to be ravaging the community, killing off the most vulnerable in terms of people that are addicted to drugs and feel like they have nothing else in life except those drugs, right? And now they're being put into single-room occupancy portables with a high probability of them doing those drugs in those portables by themselves, because they're forced to be in there now by themselves. The numbers of people dying of fentanyl has risen in the last month and a half, probably 1,000-fold. Just for this one particular area. You have to remember, these portables are popping up all over the place. Syria is just a test subject here, right? And they come from the States. The guy who's running this, that's managing to put them in, is somebody from the States that's somehow connected to the FEMA caps down there, because it's portables. It's those little fucking container units, right? Only so many people make those things, right? It's called connections. Right? You know, and Shimei's just being lumped into that pile. She did it to herself. So that leaves us as sitting ducks. Right? You know. So, you know, I don't feel good about that, people. I mean, I've never felt good about that. I knew that was going to happen, so there's no surprises there, right? A little bit of good news. A little bit of good news. I see that camera moving. You're afraid to touch it. There we go. I don't know how long it was fuzzing for, because really, people, it is really fuzzy for me. I don't see letters anymore. The only reason I can read a computer is because of dollar store glasses. That's the only reason. Anyway, and I have to make web pages with my dollar store glasses, or at least update some web pages, right? Oh yes, the little bit of good news. There is a semi-retired lawyer, semi-retired, he's not fully retired yet, that's going to give me some advice on how to submit my document lists, because I have more than one. So keep your fingers crossed he calls me next week, because he's going to call me next week when he has some time to discuss what's going on, right? And then he'll just give me some pointers on how to, what forms to use and whatnot, right? How I can try and bring the two of them together, you know, the Fraser Health and CIBC Bank together. I asked one judge to bring them together, but he wouldn't do it, right? So that's the little bit of good news. There's a lawyer that's going to help me just for a little bit, so that's good. How much is a little bit? I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. And then, other than that, though, people, I don't know if that camera's fuzzy or not. I don't know if what I'm doing is good or bad in terms of this canning right now. I tell myself it's good, right? Because, like I said, I'm going to be taking some extra stuff downstairs. So I'm going out of my way to make extra pickles. right? Some that I can put away for storage, and or replace the ones that I've already taken out through, you know, the year. And because I have a little spot there, I can pull out the old ones, put those new ones back there, and then I have mine, and then some can go downstairs, and then there's still a couple places downstairs I can put a couple more jars, depending on how many jars I have. So, you know, for what it's worth, am I doing the right thing? I don't know. I'm kind of worn out. The walnuts are starting to pile up. Andre asked me today, he says, Nana, what you gonna do next year when you can't get the walnuts? Because he knows the trees are being cut down. So that's, you know, he's thinking about 1 year ahead, right? Which is good, because we've been harvesting these walnuts every year for the last, what, 3-4 years? This is our 3rd year in a row. 3-4 years now. And it's like grueling. It gets grueling, and because I know it gets grueling, trust me. I'm just like, come on, this is your last year. And he asked me, he says, well, what you gonna do next year, Nana? Knowing that the trees won't be there. And I said, well, I said, next year, that's when we'll work on your business. I said, we'll have lots of stock. So, now that I'm thinking of stock, did you know that the black, I think it's mostly the black walnut husk, no, sorry, the black walnut shell itself, they use that as a, after they crush it all up, as a scouring powder to make things shiny, because it's gritty and it's very durable. So I'm like, okay, how are you gonna get some of this? Because I'm like shining rocks. So I want to find a cheap way to shine some rocks, and I've got the perfect product. I just have to figure out a way to smash the heck out of it and turn it into fine grain particles so I can put it into my rock machine and buffer my rocks. So, and then we'll do something with those rocks, right? Okay, so let's go see about this. Hold on. Okay. So I'm just going to do a short method here. Keep it short and sweet and simple. I don't normally put sugar in it, but this one's calling for sugar, so I don't know if I've ever done this one before. I don't remember. But anyway, we've got some dill there that I'm putting in. I use that to help keep them crunchy. Put that at the bottom of the jar. Here's, I ran out of salt. This is my Himalayan salt, right? This is a little more fine. This one's not so fine, but this is all like, one time I came across salt really, really cheap. Himalayan salt. It was like $3 a bag, and I bought all the bags. I'm glad I did, because it's actually quite expensive, depending on where you buy it. On that day, anyway. This is not as fine as this, but it will top off, right? And then I seen a little video on YouTube today, and I do believe this. Garlic from China is bleached, and if you can try to find different garlic where it's not bleached, right, better for you, right? Because not only are they bleached, but they also have like other things that are sprayed on them and the way they're grown. So, but besides, look for American garlic. American garlic will have roots, right? Where the from China, they're just, you know, they're bleached, right? So you can see they'll look like that, right? Look for something with roots. Those are the better ones to have. But besides that point, we're having garlic. I'm gonna taste the brine with the sugar, see what it tastes like, and then I'm gonna probably put a pepper in each jar. And then there's like a half a cup of salt, 3/4 cup sugar. And then it's a quart of vinegar to a quart of water. One thing you need to know is the water should always be no less than 50% in terms of vinegar. You can have 2 cups of vinegar to 1 cup water. You can have 1.5 cups of vinegar to 1 cup water. You can have 1 cup water to 1 cup vinegar, and that's fine, but you can't go 3/4 cup vinegar to 1 cup of water, right? You have to have at least 50% vinegar and 50% water, and preferably some salt in there. So, and then after that, I'm just going to use some pickling spice in there as well. Hold on. You see, people, Shimei really like these pickles. Sure. Shimei like food, right? And she used to come up, open up jars of pickles all the time. Right. Open up a jar of pickles in my house, and it doesn't last very long, that's for sure. Nope. Okay, so I managed to get the 7 jars done, but as you can see, not everything is completely full. Right? Well, that one isn't. This one's a little short. Anyway, hold on. I'm going to put it now in the water bath. I'm going to do it 190, right? Hold on. Okay, so basically what I did is I made them hot and spicy with a brine that's not too vinegary, right? In terms of half and half, right? Versus 2 cups of vinegar to 1 cup of water, right? And I added one of these in each jar, put extra garlic in there, and obviously some dill. So it's going to be spicy. And now we're going to bring it up to 190, and then we're going to leave it at 190. Oh, I don't know. Just lovely. Well, process pints and quarts, 15 minutes in boiling water bath. Well, I'm probably within this case I'd do maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes at 190. Hold on. Okay, people, so basically I only do the 190 for pickled beets, obviously cucumbers, making pickles, and juice. Anything else, I would be like boiling the water in terms of like, you know, the jams and whatever else, you know, you read, right? It tells you how to can it. This is to help it from not overcooking. And because it's in vinegar, you're sealing the vinegar into the jar, which the vinegar preserves the food, right? And there's sugar and salt in there as well. Same thing with beets, pickled beets. And then, of course, juice has its own sugars. I don't put normally a lot of juice in the sugars, and as long as you pasteurize and the jar seals, you're good to go. Okay, so I did it for 25 minutes. That's what I did. And then these are done. And they're so good, people. You don't dry them completely until they're like really, really brittle. I read that. Right? So at some point I'm going to vacuum seal some of these. These you can just eat as is. They're so good. And then these, you know, they'll all pop here very soon. Hold on.